Hey everybody, and welcome back to Fresh Set. I'm Sabrina,
And I'm Kevin.
and if you are watching, you can see that we are obviously from Toronto.
Wow,
We're obviously
it's
based.
Canada's team. It's Canada's
Yeah,
team. We
fair.
have no other team. So
Yeah,
ominous. Where we're from? Well, you just gave it away.
yeah.
Um, go Jays.
Go Jays. We've got uh, Game 7 coming up
Game 7 tonight. We're recording this.
tonight. Yes.
Yeah. Fuck Seattle.
Oh God. If anybody listening in Seattle, it's just purely baseball. Continue listening.
If it wasn't Game 7 of this series, I'd
Yeah.
be all for Seattle. Ken Griffey Jr. is
Yeah.
one of the best players ever. But tonight,
Yeah.
fuck Seattle.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on to why we're here for Formula One. It was the
U.S.
second
Grand Prix.
U.S. Grand Prix of the season, but it is
That's right.
I guess it's the U.S.
It's titled the U.S. Grand Prix.
Yeah, but it is the second one. We had Miami earlier, and then we have Coda, which is in Austin, Texas. I want to say you brought this up, and I did see it too, but the trophies.
Best.
Probably
Best
the
all
best
year.
ones all
Yep.
year. Yeah.
And I thought it was like,
amazing.
okay, like you said, like it was very, very Texas, very American. And then I
Yeah.
actually zoomed in on them and realized it was the
It's the
track,
track.
flipped, mirror imaged, so it looks like a bull skull or some
Yeah.
kind of steer skull with the steer horns. And
Yeah.
when they do the podium, I'm like, somebody is getting gored.
Oh,
Like
God,
when they're
yeah.
lifting it, I thought it was going to hit somebody in the eye. When they were going to go jump off the podium, I thought somebody was getting it in the ass.
Yeah.
I just, well, it could have happened.
Yeah. No, they seem very dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, where do you store that in your house? I mean, not that they get to keep
You
it,
have to.
but
They
they go to
do
the
their own. No, they have the constructor one that goes to the constructor,
um
don't they?
I thought they had to, wasn't that whole thing
Or
that
do they
have
get
to
a
pay for
replica?
they get the
Oh
replica
yeah, they
one.
have the replica. Yes.
Yeah, they have to pay for, I guess, if they wanted it. But yeah, I mean, awesome trophy.
Yeah,
I
amazing.
definitely think it's one of, if not the best one this year so far.
It's got to be up to. Oh, there was a good one before.
There was. I'm trying to remember where. There
Oh
was a
my
good one.
goodness, it was circular shape.
Yeah.
And I can't remember. Yeah, so whatever that one is, and this one
Yeah.
are probably.
I think it was early on European races.
I think
Imola,
so. I'm looking it up, but we're gonna.
Spain. Yeah. So anyways, before we jump totally into the race this weekend, just a reminder, if you follow us or if you don't follow us, you can find us on social media at Fresh Set Podcast. And then also wherever you get your podcast and on YouTube at Fresh Set Podcast. So like, share, subscribe, all the things, and comment, all that. But yes, U.S. Grand Prix, busy weekend. It was a sprint weekend. So we only had one free practice, right into sprint qualifying, right into a sprint race, followed by regular race qualifying. Yeah. So busy weekend of racing. And all to play for in terms of the Drivers' Championship. We come into this race with the drama that is surrounding McLaren. Before the race, the media interviews on Thursday, we start to hear about McLaren repercussions. To be honest, I'm sick and tired of hearing about McLaren. I mean, I know we've got 5 more races, but anything...
We're only gonna hear about McLaren, especially with this title fight.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, it was the Australian GP that had the racing wheel. It was the Australian GP. Okay. There was also the Lego trophies too.
Miami.
Yeah. Pretty fun.
There's been a couple.
But yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, so it's been a busy weekend with the McLaren repercussions. So we get this news that how are things between you and Lando, being asked to Oscar.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine because he's getting his own repercussions. And then Lando comes out and says, well, I didn't get off scotch-free. I've got repercussions. And then Zach makes a comment about these stupid, ominous repercussions that they won't answer the questions of what they are. Like, if you guys all say repercussions, don't you think people
So
are going to say dig into it more?
I don't know if you noticed what I noticed about there's going to be a whole blank space in between here. So
Yeah.
that's why we're laughing. But, Lando kind of says, he hit me. I hit him. I was trying to avoid a car. I've got repercussions for the rest of the season, or for what? There are repercussions. We don't know exactly the length or what it is,
Yeah.
but there are repercussions, and that's just something I have to deal with, basically. Oscar says he's taking responsibility for it, and there are repercussions for that. If there is a form of repercussion for that. And he kind of says it in a way where it's like, well, I guess it's a repercussion. This is the line that I got to use. We're going to use this word repercussion because what's my PR team told me. But it seems to me that it just doesn't feel like there are repercussions. Zach up and down the whole week and all weekend said, it's a minor hit. We talked about it in the beginning of the year, whether it was going to be minor rule or major damage, minor damage. What were the things going to be? And it kind of felt, I get, wasn't big damage, but it ruined his race.
Yeah.
Completely ruined his race.
Yeah.
So there is damage somehow. Now, he also clarifies what papaya rules are.
Clarifies.
He says we said papaya rules, and you guys have kind of made it out to be something bigger than what it is. Well, no, you made it so ominous and mysterious that nobody had no idea. And then now you're saying, oh, it was just about, don't touch each other. That's basically all it is. That's what they came out this weekend and said it. And it's just like, stop playing the PR game. You're a fucking idiot. You don't know how to run or manage people, obviously.
Yeah. And it's annoying because every other team, like, all you have to say, and it's annoying because we know it's a lie.
Yeah.
Because every other team for years, the past 50 years or 75 years of Formula One, all they say is keep it clean. Free to race, keep it clean. But
don't damage your teammate.
You put this papaya rules that makes it sound like there's something else that is going on there.
And they said it all through the radios, papaya rules, this and that.
All last year.
Was it a marketing ploy? Because you're not selling t-shirts that say papaya rules.
Nobody's buying them because nobody knows what it means.
Yeah.
It's been a mess with them. So we start with this repercussions, and we know Lando has these, again, ominous repercussions or form of repercussions for him. Then we go into the sprint. We have some, just quickly going through sprint qualifying. There was lots of traffic in SQ1 in the last, 3 minutes trying to get out of the pits. So much so, this is a bit of a longer track in the sense that it takes about a minute 35 to get it round.
On a fast lap. It's about a minute 45 to minute 55 on your regular, if you're just your out lap.
Yeah, your Sunday stroll. So much so, it's such a lot of traffic that 3 drivers, including Yuki Tsunoda, were not able to get for their last lap. They were not able to get to the start line to put in a final time, which kind of sucks. And this whole holding up everybody in the pit lane is really annoying when you have 20 drivers on track
in a short time frame.
Yeah. So Yuki was out in SQ1 along with kind of, the usual suspects. Q2, we have again the usual suspects with Antonelli kind of stuck in there.
And Lewis barely making it.
Barely getting out.
Of making it Q2.
And then SQ3, the biggest shock, I think, was Hulk.
Yeah.
Who was doing some fantastic times, and was so
Well,
good that he got into fourth.
yeah, you see it like he was the first one out at no, actually, no, because they only did one run. Yeah, but he's still the first one out
Yeah.
in SQ3, and he puts
Hmm.
up purple for a second. I'm like, okay, well, he's the first one out. He's just gonna get
Yeah.
destroyed. He's just gonna keep falling down
Yeah.
the list, and no,
Not
not at
really.
all. No,
Not really. I mean, the Ferraris go, and they are below him in eighth and ninth, I think it was.
nope.
Uh,
Charles
oh,
in 10th.
oh, 10th.
He is what is this? Half a second slower than Nico.
Yeah, it's just crazy. But we have a top three of, surprise, surprise, Max, Lando, and Oscar,
Yeah,
with Nico in fourth there. George, Alonso behind. Um, I think there's no surprise because that's kind of what we've seen all season, what we're expecting to see, at least those top three in that spot towards the end of the season now. I think that's all we're going to be seeing unless there's something
yeah.
drastic that happens with somebody's car or, the occasional Russell or Leclerc
And
puts
well,
up
maybe
a pole time.
maybe we see it in a regular quali.
Yeah, exactly. Possibly.
Maybe.
But so we on to the sprint on Saturday. I'm all
Yep,
messed
Saturday.
up with dates.
Saturday.
Everybody's excited. There's the sprint, and the track is looking really good. Like it's looking like people are putting up. The Mercedes weren't supposed to have great time, but they were, or George's was
George
at
was,
least. Yeah, it was just kind of a bit of a schmozzle, and obviously
And
about the drivers' championship to these extra points are going to help.
it's also just a fast track, like some weird chicanes, quick corners out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You've got a huge hill to go up into turn one, where
then
you
to
can
drop
fit
out of
about
it.
to drop back out of it, and you can fit about 4 or 5 cars across that corner. So it's Coda's always a good race. It's always going to be a good race.
Yeah. So the race starts. We've got Max and Lando both really get a decent start. Nico gets a good start. And I mean, all the top four, really, the first two rows get a really good start.
Well, it's because you see Max go, and he's obviously facing Lando because he's got to get over that inside line a little bit.
Yeah.
And he goes right over, cuts him off, keeps his position. And Lando, it looks like he maybe has a little bit of a slow switch in a second or a third gear.
Yeah.
And Oscar catches him pretty quickly, pretty much right alongside him.
Yeah. So much so that they're not even fighting Max anymore. Right? They're focused on whoever's beside or behind them at this point. Oscar sees Lando struggle with whatever you said, maybe second into third into fourth, whatever. He goes to make a lunge almost at the corner. He realizes it's not going to work. He tries.
Yeah, he's going to end up going off. He's going to end up going off track if he stays there.
Yeah. He tries to back out of it.
Tries to switch back.
Switch back to what he was going to do, where he hits Nico, which then throws the impact from Nico throws his car into Lando. And both McLarens spin and are out of the sprint race.
Out at turn one.
At turn one.
And happen to get. Yeah. Nico goes into Alonso and destroys his race too.
Yeah. Yeah. Just, thanks to those McLarens, which these are the 1 and 2 leaders of the Drivers' Championship. They need every point. Whichever one you want. They need as many points as they can get. And they also need Max to get points.
Yeah.
You can't do that when you DNF.
I mean, to happen on, thankfully for them, it happened on the sprint race and not in the regular race, where they're only losing out on a maximum of 8 points and 7 points between the two of them, if they were to both maximize it. Yeah. Instead of, 25 and 18. But yeah, and there was a lot of debris.
A
Piastri's
lot.
back left tire comes completely off and starts rolling down the hill. That Yuki and a bunch of other drivers have to avoid it.
Yeah.
Nico's front wing comes completely off.
Yeah. It's
Somebody
stuck under
hits
Yuki's. I think.
stuck under Yuki's, stuck for enough time that was it that piece or was it another piece? Comes out from underneath another car, flips up, and almost splits
Lewis.
Hamilton's head wide open, right down the middle of that halo. Thankfully, the halo hits it, and
Yeah.
it flings right over. It was just, and it took what 3-4 laps,
3 or 4 laps.
4 laps for the marshals to stumble their way onto the track and pick it up. Almost ended up with a couple of marshals laying flat on the track.
Yeah, a safety car for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I mean, this is a sprint, so it was only about 19 laps, I think it was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, every lap counts, and the more you do under a safety car, it takes away from the momentum from the race, obviously. But just bad move from Oscar.
Unless you're Zach Brown.
Unless you're, yes, Zach Brown, who said
Immediately on
Nico.
immediately. Well, he was already on with Sky Sports, or came on just after. He came on just after, and he said it was kind of amateur hour there from Hulkenberg.
Yeah.
Well, where's the guy supposed to go? Again, Zach's got to come off his high horse. He's got to actually look at things and make a real decision or realistic comment about something. Nico has, like I said, you can put 4 or 5 cars across this track. Originally, Oscar's on the outside, about to go off the track, and then decides he's going to tuck back under, and he makes a pretty aggressive turn. It's not even like subtly shifting over. He turns that wheel pretty aggressively right into Nico, who's probably alongside his back. Well, he is alongside his back tire at that point, or just a little bit further than that. Where a second ago it was wide open.
Yeah.
Completely wide open. And I said to you, a switchback is a great move, especially there.
Yeah.
We saw Lando try it on spoiler, try it on Charles quite a bit in the actual race. But there was nobody else beside you. It's not lap 1, and you don't have 20 cars all bunched up together. It will not work on lap 1.
And Lando and Charles did it. We saw, I want to say Colapinto did it at one point too.
Yeah.
So
on Gasly, wasn't it?
On Gasly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it can be done, and it's a good move to make if you know how to make it at the right time.
Yeah. Not turn 1.
Yeah, not turn 1 of, again, like you said, it's fine that it was the sprint versus the race, but
it was probably the worst judgment call we've seen from Piastri in his career.
Yeah. Which that kind of goes to my dirty air a little bit later, but we'll get into that. Nope. So yeah, that was the sprint, and then that was the start of the sprint. Sorry, and then we continue on, where we see Max take the win. Everything kind of settles down for the rest of the sprint. There's a couple people moving in.
George almost had Max there right at the restart, which was looked like he had him at one point. He had him for a corner. Yeah. Took him too wide. George took up the inside line too wide. Yeah. Max avoided the crash. They both had to go off the track. At that point, Lando's in the media pen, and he sees it on screen and says, well, yeah, just like last year, except nothing, basically saying that, because it's Max, he's not going to get in trouble for it. I let it go, Lando. Stop being weak. It had nothing to do with it, and it was just they both avoided a crash. That's all it was.
And guess what? They both went off just like last year.
Yeah.
And
George never complained. He knew he took too much speed into that corner, and Max avoided all contact. Yeah. He'd even say he's got to give that position back.
Yeah, they didn't even argue it for a second. Nobody was like, GP didn't come on and say, no. I think GP came on and said, be careful or something like that. But it wasn't like, it wasn't like, hey, Max, don't do that again. It was more so like, yeah, that was a close one. No,
it was just like careful, Max. He's going to try that move. He's going to try to get you wherever he can.
Yeah, exactly. So, the two McLarens are in the pen, and they're kind of going through. They're kind of following this same PR mentality that we've talked about already of, oh, he didn't mean to hit me. Someone else hit him, that Zach just said. And then Oscar, I think, says the same thing. I got hit
I got hit. No.
because of something you
Yeah.
did.
You turn. Like, first of all, I don't understand how he says I got hit.
Yeah.
No, you hit.
Turned.
You
Yeah.
hit.
Yeah.
If
Just
I
because
make
he
a
was
lane
that way,
change
yeah.
and I don't look at my blind spots, doesn't matter where the car is positioned. I'm at fault.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's it's very easy to quickly come on and say, oh, we'll just have to take a look at the tapes. We thought we were in the good spot. That's all anybody had to say. I have to
But there
review
is
it.
there is no way in hell that anybody looking at it is going to think
No.
that Oscar wasn't at fault for that. I mean,
No.
the stewards looked at it. Racing incident is because you tried to move, and it was just a situation. Everybody's bunched up. Whatever. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But if they gave him a penalty, I'd still be okay with that. But
Yeah.
there's nobody that watched it live or the replay that happened right after. Even if you took 2 seconds to just relook at it, pull up F1 TV on your phone, Zach. You could tell right away.
Yeah.
Oscar fucked up.
Well, and at no point did, sometimes you hear Crofty or Brundle being like, oh, look, we got to look at that again to see who was at fault.
No.
And everybody, Karun Shandok, who was, doing the replays, Ted Crav, everybody was like, Oscar. Nobody was
Karun says like
wondering.
he turned into that real aggressively.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens. But yeah, that continues. The sprint, Max takes the win, followed by George.
Yep. George and Carlos.
And Carlos in the Williams. I was about to say in the Ferrari, but in the Williams, he gets another podium. Okay, yeah, it's a sprint, but it's a podium.
Another podium.
It's a podium.
Wow. That kind of goes into some of my news later. Yeah, it is a sprint. They obviously don't really consider sprint podiums, but
no,
in the record books.
Yeah, it's a podium for Williams. It's points for Williams that they desperately need.
Wow.
And
Lewis Hamilton now holds the record for most races since Ferrari's debut without a podium.
Yeah,
even though he won a sprint race.
This is true. This is true. A bad record, but
this is really just extra content. It's sprint. That's all it is. It's not a real race.
Yeah. Except for the top 3, where this is all about points.
Points, yes.
Yeah.
They work toward points, but it's not really a race. It's like they might as well just sim it.
Yeah, honestly. Safer for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the sprint race. So Max takes pole and first place in the race. And then on to the qualifying for the actual race on Sunday, which does matter. We're just going to skip. We're going to skip right through to Q3 because kind of at this point of the season and with such a close drivers championship, or it's increasingly getting closer, this drivers championship, that's the most important, who's in Q3.
Well, and that's the thing, like the only real interesting one thing before that was Isaac DNF'd in Q1 and Nico almost puts himself in a Q3. Starts 11th.
So close.
Yeah.
So close. But and then so in Q3 we have a bit of a shocker, like you had some subtle foreshadowing for. And we have Max taking pole again, going for the Grand Slam for the weekend. Lando in second. Charles found some sort of pace in that Ferrari to get into third. George quickly behind. Lewis, Oscar, who's in sixth. Yeah. You're the championship leader and you're starting sixth. Which, hey, Max did it a few times last year, so it's not impossible to still retain the championship. But from sixth position, Lewis has done it a bunch of times. And then Kimi, Bierman, Sainz, and Alonso round out the top 10. And then the race.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Then the race.
Right on to the race. And it was a great start again for Max, but a really, really good start for Charles, who's in third. And he is very quickly no longer in third. He is the only driver in the top 12, I think, that was on softs. Because it was like Stroll was on softs, but he was again
Yeah, there
somewhere
were
in like
two. Everybody else was on a
six.
medium.
Yeah. Um, and so he's on soft tires, which are obviously going to be the faster ones. The mediums that Lando and everybody else was on take a minute to warm up, get really going. But Charles is able to get Lando pretty quickly, and he kind of takes that so much so that Lando can't even pay attention to what Max is doing ahead of him or
Yeah.
beside him ahead of him. And he's right into defending mode. This time, not against his teammate. So maybe that's a little bit easier.
I,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you noticed at the beginning, because when you watch the beginning of the race, they do their, their compounds and what they expect race strategy to be for who's on what. So F1 TV had put out their expectations for the race, that it was either a one stop on a medium and a hard, or if you start on the softs, you're going to go likely a two stop. You're going to go soft, medium, medium, and we see the two on the softs. Whoever's doing these strategies and these calculations should probably poll the teams, because none of that happened.
Nobody listened.
Not even close.
Yeah.
No, because you're expecting Charles and Stroll. You said Stroll?
I think it was Stroll.
To two stop.
Yeah.
Not exactly what happened at all. And then everybody else saw what Charles was doing, like, hey, this is going to work out great for us.
Yeah. And it didn't for everybody, but
No, not everybody.
Yeah.
But most.
Yeah. So he's able to get ahead of Lando, and then usually the first few laps are a little, hectic of trying to figure out what's going on, and then it settles down. This first few laps felt insanely hectic. Like everybody from second to 20th.
Yeah, it felt like a whole race worth of stuff going on in the first, I don't know, 20 laps.
Yeah.
Of 56, are we? 56?
56. It was hectic. There was a lot of aggressive racing, not a lot of, very tiny comings together. I think we saw George maybe touch somebody.
We thought it was.
Yeah.
George, reached out and touched somebody.
Yeah.
No, he did. We thought he did.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was. Nobody said anything on the radio, but it looked like or at least they were close enough that it almost, maybe the wind pushed them. But we did have a small coming together like that. We had a bigger coming together right around lap 5.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how there wasn't more damage on the other car. But we see Sainz coming into that turn 1, I believe. Maybe it wasn't turn 1. Trying to make an inside move, and then completely locks up and goes right into the side of Kimi Antonelli, spinning them both out, destroying Carlos's race. He was done. Yeah. Kimi is somehow able to get going again. And
at the very back of the grid, but
very back of the grid, and then came in for a repair, I believe, or tire change. I can't remember what it was, but he's
something.
Yeah.
Kind of ruined his race. Sainz was out, so which we have now found out that he actually got a pretty hefty penalty, which warranted for the
he
crime,
came from quite a ways back trying to take that speed in that corner and just locked right up. So he's got 5 places, and then I believe I know I read it somewhere, a couple points on his license.
Yeah, a couple points there. Very early on, we're seeing people get shown black and white flags for track limits.
Yeah, by like lap 10, was it?
Yeah, Hadjar
had a black and white flag.
Yeah, Hadjar had black and white. He was the first one, and then I think it was lap 20 is when Lando gets his notice, and this is when there is some intense fighting between Lando and Charles, which Lando kind of has to back out of it because he can't risk that if he goes off track one more time, he's going to be hit with a 5-second time penalty. So he's already running in third. He's lost his position. He doesn't need a 5-second penalty. And then not so far behind is Lewis, who's driving. I thought it was a great drive for Lewis, but he wasn't getting too involved in what Charles and Lando were doing.
Yeah.
But he was watching. He was there. He was just in that 1.5 second behind them for a while.
But I'm thinking, if I'm Lando and I'm chasing Charles for as long as possible, like it was every lap until whenever he passed him. I can't remember exactly what lap it was. Do you remember?
Oh, no.
Okay. Either way, it was later on. It was like at least halfway through the race, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really care about that 5 second penalty if I can make it up in the extra 10 laps.
Yeah. Which, spoiler alert.
He did. He does. But if he did it
pretty much
earlier,
bigger,
it would have been a bigger gap. And it's just like, maybe I just don't slow down and I can just try it. Maybe. Yeah. I'll take the gamble. If I can get ahead of him, I've got the car to make up that time.
Take the 5 second penalty. Do your tire change before Charles comes in for his, because
Well, he couldn't because he was on mediums.
oh, that's right, he was on mediums.
He couldn't.
So
He would have had to build a gap and then do it after.
it would have been a waste. But yeah, and then after Lando gets Charles, we do see some.
Well, one more thing. I think one of the reasons they didn't do it earlier is because they thought Charles was going to come in for a tire change,
Yes.
which would have been laps 15 to 18.
Yeah.
And this mofo just won't come in.
No.
Like, he stays out. I looked and it's lap 22 and he's still out there. He's almost half race distance.
Yeah.
So he knows he's laughing to put on a medium tire after because he's only got one more to go, one more tire change to go.
And McLaren tried again with the dummy, but we've all caught on to the dummy.
They are the dummy.
Well, especially because their dummy calls are so obvious.
Yeah.
Box to overtake Max. I think they tried it last week. And then box to overtake Charles. You never call it like that. So stop calling it like that.
It's like they're a dad playing football in the yard with their children. And you're sitting there and you're like, where am I going to go? Am I going to go here? Am I going to go there? And then you fool them because they're children. You're not going to fool them because they're grown men who don't give a shit about what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, because Charles' tires were doing well. So stretch out the soft tire as long as you can.
And that's not the race he's running. He's not worried about, undercutting Lando. He's got his tires. He knows he's going to have to come in. So it has nothing to do with, let me get in there first, because he should obviously be in there first. I think McLaren's just sweating because they're like, we thought we were going to get ahead of you faster than this, earlier than this. And it was 10 laps later. Yeah,
honestly. And when we finally see Lando go in, it's because, which I think it was lap 33, he goes in with a bit of a slow stop.
32,
And it was kind of because Lando had been slipping all over the place at this point. His tires are cooked. And you almost hear, you hear him on the radio saying, box. Like, it wasn't even the team that called it. And they were like, yeah, we're bringing you in. Don't worry. So he goes in and it's a 3.8 stop. Bit slow for, it's a bit slow for McLaren. I mean, they've typically known for their fast pit stops. But Oscar, we're not hearing from Oscar at all. He's not. I think at one point he did get up to 5th. He did gain a position.
Yeah.
But that was it. He just stayed, didn't do anything.
No.
But also lap 32, you said he came in. Lando got his new tires. By lap 44, he's saying he's got no grip. He's back fighting Leclerc, which again, those two just provided all the race drama and all the racing that we needed to see. The fighting, it was great.
And they're on softs at this point.
Yeah. And he's got no grip.
But that happened to a lot of people. You see Max does the same thing, as their back ends were sliding. It also was a bit of a windier day in Coda, so at certain points of the track you're getting a crosswind, so I just don't know if that had anything to do with it. But there was just no, and we talked about it, where there was 5-6 laps where he was not gaining at all. He stayed 10 seconds behind Max.
Yeah.
At one point it was like 11.5 seconds, and maybe it was recharging a battery. All that fighting with Charles kind of maybe took a lot of fuel out of him, whatever the case may be. but it was just race at that point after everybody had changed their tires. It's pretty much dead.
Yeah. It was until, yeah, it was like set in place. Lando was, Max was in first, way ahead. Charles was in second. Lando was in third. And then he had now backed out. Like we said, he'd backed out of this. He was either charging his battery or his tires were really gone. Um, Lewis in fourth was still kind of not. I
Hanging
mean,
about.
yeah, he was there, but I do think Lewis had a good drive, but
They
we
did,
just
yeah.
didn't get to see a lot of it. Um, and then at one point we see him start to fall off in pace, not gaining at all. But um, then lap 52 of 56, all of a sudden Lando is like cutting time out
Yeah.
of Charles' time. And the tires have come back to him. He's got battery life back in, and he was able to actually get Charles on lap 52 and then just hold it off. And I mean, once he passes, we see Charles, they've kind of switched. Charles just backs out. He's like, there's
Yeah,
nothing more I can do at this point.
just bring it home.
Yeah. And he does. So Max wins. Lando gets second, Charles gets third, Lewis gets fourth, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it was Lewis. Which is some good points for Ferrari.
Yeah.
Probably the best they've done combined, third and fourth in a while. I mean, we've seen them do like third and seventh
Fifth or sixth or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And their first podium in a long. When was the last time Charles was on the podium? It's been a while.
It was a while, yeah. So yeah, Max, he does get the slam. He doesn't get fastest lap. But,
No, he didn't get fastest lap. But
yeah.
he did win something else. He is in McLaren's head.
Yeah.
And he is
1,000%.
now scaring the shit out of both Lando and Oscar.
Yeah.
And I don't know if those two are, because now Max has nothing to lose.
Nothing.
He's just racing. He's racing. He can see it there, and he's going to do his best. But I mean, it's all on the McLarens to lose. And I think now that 2 weekends of dominant performances is really going to get to the psyche of these McLarens and Zach.
Yeah. And I mean, 2 weekends plus 2 weekends with 3 races. So again, the sprint is not a race, but it still messed with them. It still got into their heads.
He dominated everything. You saw in the sprint qualifying, Lando was on pole. He takes pole. Max beats him by 7/100ths of a second.
Yeah.
Goes into the regular qualifying. He beats him by 2/10 or 3/10 of a second. A substantial, like it doesn't look like far or doesn't look like much time, but the cars he's got about 2 cars in between them in that kind of a span. And then he goes on and just handily wins both races. Mm-hmm. I do think in the sprint, if both McLarens were there, it would have been a tougher win for Max. But it's still in the sprint. But it doesn't change the fact that Max is now just fully BDSM dominating these 2 boys. Yeah. That's a weird sentence.
Yeah, it's okay.
These men.
These 2 men. We're gonna switch over to some news, but I don't know if you saw this graphic, but since the summer break, and this just goes to show you how the mind games are going to start to play a factor.
I don't know what you're going to say, but I know what you're going to say.
Okay. Max, since the summer break, has scored 94 points.
Mm-hmm.
The McLarens, both of them, since the summer break, Lando and Oscar, have scored 91 points. So, we have a beginning of the season where Max is struggling to get top spot on the podium. He's getting second, he's getting third. He did get a couple of them. And then after the summer break, he is now 94 points for one person, where they have 91 for the 2. He's getting into their heads.
It is such. When I had the breakdown of each race, his point differential after each race. But either way, he's been so dominant and driving so well that that's what I want to look up before this. But the Vegas odds for who wins the
geez.
championship as of today, I believe, I will look it up, but I believe it is Max and Oscar level on odds. Lando is lower.
Oh.
And that is going to really mess up with Lando.
Yeah. I think McLaren is in a spot, and I think it was Crofty that said it. It's gotten to the point that they need to stop McLaren, because at the end of the day, the teams, they care about the constructors first. They care about the team championship first. Oh, go ahead.
Let me correct myself.
Oh.
On bet365.com, Max Verstappen is best odds at 2.5, Oscar at 2.75, Lando at 287, and George Russell at a whopping 1,001.
Oh, well.
$100 gets you 10 grand on George.
On George.
On George.
I don't know.
What?
I mean, hey, he's still
mathematically. Mathematically, he's there.
He's there.
Vegas is still keeping that up there.
Yeah.
But Max has, I guess, after this weekend, has surpassed both McLaren drivers. And he's still, as of now, I had it there. As of now, he is, I want to say 41 points, you said?
He's
40 points. He's 40 points from Oscar. And 28 points. Sorry, 26 points from Lando.
Yeah. And Lando is 14 points from Oscar.
From Oscar. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was Crofty that said it. McLaren needs to stop with this papaya rules. Every team, yes, they want the constructors, but it's also good for them to have the drivers' championship as well. Yeah. At this point, you have had 5 races, consecutive races, not consecutive weekends, but 5 races since the break where Max has eaten away at your bid for the drivers' championship. We can't do this. We need to pick a number 1, and we go with that. And McLaren's not going to, but there
aren't number 1s. There are phantom repercussions.
And Karun actually asked Crofty, how do you pick number 1? And he said the driver in front, the driver in the lead.
Yeah.
It's that simple, because if you lose, gosh, if Max does win this championship, it'll be the biggest failure in McLaren history.
I want to put money on Max, because if I'm looking at it now, Max at 40 points. So let's just play this out now. Fuck all the news. Let's just play this out here. Okay. We have Max 40 points down, or whatever. Yeah, 40 points down on the drivers. We have 5 races left. I think they said somewhere there's 147 points or 140 something points up for grabs. Total points, maximum points. I think you're still going to have the struggle, because McLaren isn't fighting Max.
No,
they're not each other. They are fighting they are fighting Max. But yeah, exactly. Now they have each other. Now they have their team. Now they have Zach and his wishes of whatever the fuck he wants to do. Yeah. He's not going to pick a number 1 driver, because he knows Oscar's probably going to win it. Should win it. Yeah. But Lando's his golden boy. And I think he knows that Oscar, he's happy that he stole Oscar, but I think he knows Oscar's time is numbered, because he's going to want out. Because if I'm Oscar and I lose, not even I lose to Lando, I lose to Max.
Lose the whole thing.
If I lose anything, I lose it to Max, whatever, even if I come in second, I'm not blaming. Well, okay, you got to blame yourself. I'm blaming the team. Yeah. Because there were so many moments where he got fucked over by this, or they couldn't make a decision, and now they're losing points to each other. Yeah.
And going back on some of those decisions that they said that they made, right? Because we've heard numerous times Oscar and Lando say on the radio, oh, well, that's not what we discussed. On-track racing is different than messed up in the pit lane. Stops, yeah. So we've heard that, and more so on Oscar's side, that they've talked about something and then they've gone back on it in the race. Yeah. And this is what happens when you... And nobody's saying you have to outright in every interview be like, Oscar's our number 1.
No.
I mean, they didn't really do that with uh, Lewis and Bottas. It was just you
Yeah, but
knew who the
that's
number
Lewis
one
and
was.
that's that I
Yeah,
get. But I mean, they have to have forget this repercussions
yeah,
in the whatever's drivers meetings or whether they're going to have
yeah,
there. You have to sit them both down and say, listen, Oscar, you're in the lead. You get priority.
yeah.
First pit
That's
stops,
it.
whatever. That's what it's going to be. Something happens and Lando switches. Great, Lando. Now you've got priority.
Yeah,
No problem.
they're within 14 points. If next race Lando wins, he is now ahead of Oscar. Let's say.
Well, it depends on where he finishes.
Yeah, it
I mean,
depends on
like,
where.
Oscar gets taken out somewhere just at random,
Yeah.
whatever, and Lando wins. Okay, he's ahead. Okay, you're the
So then
championship leader now.
we're going with you. You're the championship
Yep.
leader. We're going to have Oscar protect you until Oscar then surpasses you. But we're not making any calls to trade positions or,
No.
you're first. And even we heard with Oscar's radio this weekend asking him if he wants to. It wasn't to pit before Lando, but still, like, guys, make the call. Just
I
make
think that
the call.
might have to do with some repercussions where we're going to ask Oscar his preference first,
Yeah.
and on certain situations, and that's so it's not a repercussion. It's
Yeah.
just.
This is the way we're doing it.
But either way, we've got 5 races, 2 sprints. Max is your new championship winner, and that's just the way it's going to stay.
Yeah, I mean, he's again depending on where Oscar, because we're saying Max is fighting Oscar at this point. So depending where Oscar finishes in 2 races, Max just needs 2 races.
The funny
Just
thing
needs
is
to
that
win 2
I
races.
don't even think that Max feels like he's fighting Oscar. I think Max is just driving because he wants to win, and if he wins, great. If he
Yeah.
doesn't, there's next year.
I think Max is having this is the best fun he's had
Yeah.
in years.
This would be
This half of the season,
out of
I should say.
if he wins this. If he wins this, this has got to be his greatest championship ever.
Yeah,
It has to be.
100%.
Forget the one, the one where he wins 23 races, or 22 out of 24.
Yeah.
That is the greatest season that's ever been there. His greatest season, great, no problem. It wasn't fun for him because he
No.
destroyed everybody.
No.
The Lewis 2021, yes, it was
So much drama around it.
yeah, exactly. I think there was so much into it with who hit who's getting knocked out, him going to the hospital, landing on top of Lewis's head. There was so much that muddied the championship and still muddies it because there's the half people don't even consider him the winner there.
Yeah.
He is, but they don't. They won't view
Yeah.
him as a champion. This has to be. I mean, he drove a shit car. He drove it well. He drove it better than anybody else that's been in that seat.
Yeah.
And then he comes back while still doing sim racing until 3:00 in the morning, while doing another 24-hour race,
Yeah.
and then comes back from behind and just not obliterates the competition, but shows that he is the best driver and you have to beat him, and it's not your car.
Yeah. And it's funny because I was actually talking to my dad. He was looking at the constructors. He's like, did you know Mercedes was in second? I was like, yes. And he's like, how is Red Bull so high, so far back? And I was like, they only have one driver putting up points and consistent points, consistent points. Yes.
Points of value.
Yeah.
You can
Yuki
get
got, I
1,
think,
2, or
7.
4. Yeah.
I think Yuki got 7 points this weekend or 5 or something
He
like
did.
that.
He ended up in 6.
Yeah.
7.
So, but I mean, if we look at even just that, Max kept Red Bull 4th in the constructors single-handedly.
They could still. Well, they can't
Pass.
finish second, but they're only 10 points behind Mercedes. Again, this is with one driver.
Yeah.
This is like the time we saw, which they will never catch first, but where Max could have won the championship that in 2023. He could have won the championship by himself because he won all the races. But he could still put his team into second theoretically, with several great weekends.
Yeah. I mean, this would be the one that I would say, if you're going to retire, like pull in Nico Rosberg and retire after a season, this is the season to do it. And just be like, mic drop, see you guys never.
Yeah.
I'm going to Le Mans.
5 in a row and my best yet.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So, I mean, we'll see what happens in the next few races, but it's going to be photo finish drama right to the end. And we are going into three tracks that Max excels at, and he actually enjoys these tracks: Mexico, Brazil, and Vegas.
Vegas
So,
is a wild card, no pun intended.
yeah.
We've only had
Yeah.
two. Max has done
Yeah.
great in them.
Yeah.
You know, Vegas scares me. Vegas is, I don't know.
It is a scary track.
And Brazil is, wet
Yeah.
weather. Max excels
Yeah.
in, but anything can happen if
I
it's
mean,
wet
we've
weather.
we've seen, who is it? Lewis, Max, Gasly, and I think Hulkenberg are all really good in
What about
wet
Ocon's drive last year in
wet
wet?
weather. Yeah, true. I mean, yeah, Brazil but we know these are some of Max's
Yeah,
favorite
yeah,
tracks coming up. Doesn't mean they can be his favorite all he wants. Doesn't mean he's going to do well,
yeah,
but this is a guy that's on the Sims for these tracks. So, like you said, 3 a.m.
yeah.
But, yeah. So, a little bit of news, or
We can. The only thing I really want to talk about here is that, because you don't know about it either, the FIA president elections have been decided.
Yeah.
And the incumbent has won, Mohammed Ben Sulayem. I can always forget where the Y and the L go, but um, Tim Mayer has officially withdrawn because there is a stipulation now. The regulation in question requires any candidate to submit the names of 6 prospective vice presidents from each of the FIA's global regions. So I would assume it's the Americas, Europe, Asia, all this stuff, everything but Antarctica. So every continent, essentially. I don't know, whatever the regions are. It could not be that. But anyways, Bernie Ecclestone's wife, Fabiana, is currently the only representative for South America and has already declared support for Mohammed.
Oh,
We have no other, so he could have 5, but he doesn't have that 6th in South America because nobody else meets the qualifications for a prospective vice president. So he wins on a technicality because there's not enough people there to run.
great.
So Tim did come out and say there'll only be one candidate, the incumbent, and that's not democracy. That's an illusion of democracy. Basically, it's a dictatorship because no rules have been changed. I think it's ridiculous. If you have to have 6 prospective vice presidents, why can't you just run under one vice president?
Yeah.
With one vice president. Why do you have to have 6
Like
to
a
choose
regular
from?
election.
Yeah.
Like,
Because you don't. There's no tribunal. It's not, or whatever. It's not the president and all 6 of them.
yeah.
It's just, so I don't understand. Is it just so you can have support by different governing bodies? But then why is there not more than one in South America?
To be honest, I didn't even know that there was a vice president of.
Well, I assume there was, because if you're going to have a president, you have to have a vice president. You should. It's just to try and keep somebody honest. But apparently all the rules are in favor for the dishonest. And he knew he had this in his back pocket. Guarantee.
Yeah, I guess.
I guarantee. He waited until now, till now you can't go find a new one, because now all the ballots for vice presidents are done. You cannot. You cannot enter a new one now. I read that somewhere else. So you can't enter as a vice president. I think it ended the beginning of October or something like that. So this was all waited on until after this,
plan.
so he can say, well, sorry, you don't meet the qualifications.
Yeah.
That is a little bit on the candidates not to be familiar with all the rules.
Right.
You should be reading that rule book front to back.
Yeah.
Because obviously he is.
Well, he has that sleeping under his pillow. He just knows.
Yeah. That's where the only copies kept.
Yeah, exactly. You have to get in there.
So now we have 4 more years of, or whatever the term is, of Mohammed Ben. I just said it. I forgot already. Sulayem.
Well, that's fun. More random rules that will come into play and then go out of play, and
or different interpretations of them, whichever fits his
narrative that
Yeah,
weekend.
for that. Yeah, exactly.
That weekend. Okay.
Yeah, so that's that.
Okay.
Done and dusted for the FIA presidents.
All right.
Fresh set and dirty air,
Sure.
or dirty air and fresh set, whichever one you like. Whichever order you want.
I'm gonna go fresh set.
Okay.
Kind of a 2-1 here. I'm gonna say it was a great race. I know Coda is always a good track. Something felt different about this Coda. I don't know if it was the sprint was like a lot. Okay, yes, the race had its lulls where everything just kind of went where it was, but everything just seemed on edge, and like it was a good track. It felt faster. It's a good race.
I think everybody could feel the tension from McLaren. Everybody
I think maybe that's
feel
what
the
it was.
excitement around it too. It was just it is a great track. You're right. I think it's right up there. And I've never said it before, but after this weekend, it might be one of those that I really, maybe it was the way they filmed it a lot this year too. It felt quick. It really felt like a race that I want to go watch.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was watching. I'm like, damn, these corners. They did an onboard of Max towards the end of the race, and just watching him like thread the needle of like some of those corners, I was like, this is insane.
Yeah,
and like how fast he was going.
It felt very fast on TV this year.
Yeah. But yes, that's my part one. My part two, I'm gonna go the Red Bull factory. I don't know what they did to this car, because at the beginning of the season, this car was not great. Specifically Max's car, they have figured out.
They didn't even like it at sprint qualifying.
I know, but we've had 5 or 6 races that he's done really well. So whatever's going on at the Red Bull factory, they lost. Oh my God, Newey. They lost Adrian Newey.
They also lost Max's head mechanic.
Yeah. But they've done something, and I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. They've messed up the car, but because this happened to McLaren last year. But I just kudos to them. We always talk about the driver and the principal, but like I just think the factory engineers, aerodynamics specialists, whatever they done, perfect.
I'm just gonna piggyback off of yours quickly, because I can't think of a real other fresh set. Honestly, the best thing for me was Coda the track, Coda the race. Yeah. Both races, both sprints were great. Both qualities were great. Yeah. And then Max. Yeah. Max being Max. His interviews were great. Yeah. Throwing shade.
He's just having the most fun.
Yeah, he's just having a great time. And he's wrangling, no pun intended, wrangling in a car that seems untamable. And just figuring out and just fucking putting in bangers. Yeah. So
it's been fun to watch.
Yeah. I had so many people. I wore my Red Bull shirt out yesterday, and everybody was having a great time. Cheer me on. Anyways.
Dirty Air, I have to go with Oscar. And we've seen this weird change in him. I mean, he was always the quiet, whatever, just kind of said it like it is. But it's almost as if there's like a confidence lost in him.
A little
something like
chink in the armor.
Yeah, like something's. So, maybe it's Max, maybe it's McLaren, maybe it's his own head getting. It's just, it was a bad weekend from him as well. Yeah. But yeah, the feisty Oscar seems to be a little bit gone, and maybe Lando's taken a little bit of it because of the fighting with Charles. But something's changed.
I agree. We're seeing a lot of mental fragility in those McLaren drivers. Yeah. And it's not something I thought we'd see from Oscar. Once the pressure's really on, though, it's changed them.
But I feel like it's also not from. It's like we've said, it's not from Max. It's not from Lando.
It's from
just the team.
Yeah.
It's the team messing with him, and that's the worst I think it could be, and that's why we know he's there for 26, but
he's gone after 26.
Yeah.
I think the nail's in the coffin. Yeah. He might just tank the team next year.
He's like, good luck without me.
Get a contract ready somewhere else and just, you know what? I'm just gonna crash every weekend. Yeah. Mine is, again, we're kind of on the same page here. I'm going in the vein of McLaren. Okay. But I'm going to go with their PR team and PR strategy. And what I can only imagine is the message that is coming straight from Zach's mouth about what he wants the PR team to tell the drivers, because it's a mirror image of what he's saying to everybody else. What the fuck happened to drivers having personality, being honest, talking the way they're supposed to talk, and have an honest opinion? I'm so tired. Maybe it's the Americanization because of Zach. We watch sports every weekend. I watch sports every weekend, and you see the same canned messages from the NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB. They're all the same things, same touch points, and it's just so boring to watch. One of the reasons I love F1 is because people say what they think and what they feel. And you know what? If you don't like it, fuck it. Everybody had personality. And now you're giving us this bullshit canned responses, and you're just a dummy in a car now.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because before you would see something like, he ran me off the road. And then we're like, he didn't run you off the road. You actually ran into him. And then the following weekend at the next race, hey, have you looked at the footage again? And it's like, yeah, I could have made us look like, I didn't have to do it like that. I already talked to Max. I apologize. I already talked to... What's wrong with that? Let's go back to that.
Don't let me hear your radio messages, and then you give me this sheep in the pen. It's just I'm seeing a lot with McLaren over the last couple of weeks, obviously, where it's even when there was problems in Red Bull, Max said what he had to say, right? Maybe it helps because he knows he's got that spot and he's not going anywhere. Lewis has also been the same. Maybe these guys don't feel like they're too secure, or that they're going to have a slap on the wrist if they speak out and say the wrong thing. But also quickly before I got a second one. It's just a small one.
Yeah. Okay.
It's your Laurel Menkes. Thanks, Laurel Menkes. I generally love him. And it's nothing wrong with him at all, actually.
Yeah.
Did you watch the same feed I did all weekend?
I was in and out watching on an iPad, so...
It is very, very, very sunny in Austin, Texas, and has been all weekend. Laurel Menkes has a great, manicured beard and goatee.
Oh, God.
But he's very pale, and when the sun is that bright, everything on his beard is white. Everything. Every part of his beard is white. Maybe a little bit down here is some darker gray or some black. The only part that's really dark is the little Hitler part right there.
Oh my God.
I'm not kidding. Go back and watch it.
When the sun is when
I did a double take, because then I'm like, and then I realized when I look closer, I'm like, oh my God, his beard is so white. Everything else is so white, and he's white, that it just looked like it was just skin. And then it just got that, and I'm like, that's not a good look. And then I realized he still got the beard. Thank God. He needs somewhere like a night race where you can actually see all the definition, or Silverstone where it's overcast or something.
Yeah, he needs makeup with him.
Yeah, not a cloudless day in Texas with the sun beating right down on you. I will find a picture.
Yes, I now need to see this.
Or go look back on F1 TV, you'll see it. Oh no, it was on the Sky Sport. I'll find a picture. Okay. But
that's funny.
It was a little jarring.
Yeah, that would be a little scary to be seeing on your
or maybe
screen.
some color grading by Sky Sports.
Honestly. But yeah, that is us.
That's it.
We got a race next week. I was like, there's a race next week, Mexico.
There is a next week. Yeah, and the week after that. Nope. Oh, sorry. No, it was 2 weeks to Brazil. That's right. There's 2 weeks to Brazil. It is. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna stop talking.
Anyways, we will be back next week with another race review from the Mexican Grand Prix. We'll see you guys next time.
Yep. Grab a fresh set.
Bye.